Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, the High Guy Jacobs, and today we're taking a look at G8 bracket fights that set GrOp up whether we were going to take fourth or last. Unfortunately, like we went over in our previous video, GrOp had absolutely no reason being in this bracket, but we do our absolute best. We push our hardest, and our entire goal during this process was to be as annoying as we could, be as much of a hindrance to the other teams as we could, the other alliance as we could. So, in this situation here, we woke up bright and early at 0700 UTC, which for me is about 1 o'clock. So I went to bed early to be able to wake up at this time to help our allies as they were pushing into the 7. Our goal is not to push to the 7 because unfortunately, there's no way we're building there. Our goal was to be a distraction and push into their 6 as they were being attacked on the front by their 7 to give them basically the decision on having to focus on us or having to focus on the front line in order to lose their 7. Now, as you'll see in these fights, it is kind of, on both HORS from 472, Trojan Horse, and INF from 228, Inferno, to kind of keep their focus, at the front lines. Meanwhile, we are, silently building into the backside. We knew wholeheartedly that if and when Z and Greaves and Specky and things like that, once they moved over, there was no chance for us to really defend. But until then, we had as much fun as we could, kind of, building into there and having the hopes of taking their 6. And hopefully you guys will enjoy those too. As we get into some nice field fights, we get into a couple of nice rallies. And then the inevitable Z moves over and it kind of ends for us abruptly. But until then, I hope you guys enjoy. Of course, we're going to kick the tunes on, so I hope you guys got a nice bourbon or a nice joint, fat bong. Let's sit back and enjoy and relax, and let's see what these fights bring us. This becomes one of those situations where you can start to see, now that they got one tower built, we've got a rally that's prepped, and you'll start to see some of these trades. These guys' garrisons are so strong in comparison. I'm so jealous because they're just so, potent. I mean, once you get a hero above 6 million and you have a 6 million garrison, 6 million rally plus, I mean, you really start swinging hard, and you get to see some of these rallies really just shine in the reports. Unfortunately, we're not going to take too much look in the reports. I don't think we take a look at any reports in this replay because, in my opinion, I don't like editing as much, and I've already spent a lot of time editing these already. So it's a lot of editing extra just to put reports in. But trust me when I tell you that the reports, especially when it comes to our side of things, aren't necessarily as great. We don't win the trades. Like I said, we shouldn't be in this bracket, but that doesn't stop us from throwing everything we can into the grinder to defend our position, which hopefully you'll see here in the later parts of the video as we move on. It really becomes a real grind. But we're going to start to see some rallies start hitting here as that tower builds up. And, of course, you got Specky there. You got Greaves up on the front line. Z's up on the front line. They're waiting for it. They've been scouting and obviously preparing. That tower gets built, so we've got another rally that's prepping. it becomes a real bloodbath here. But as you can see, there's tons of field control coming from our allies. That's the benefits of 2v1, and of course attacking at 7 o'clock in the morning. Most people are sleeping, even though I know that Z doesn't sleep. That guy's, like I said, he's a beast. I guess I should call him more of a machine than anything. The guy literally, you know, is someone to you know, to live up to. If I can play up to his standards all the time. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to fanboy here by any stretch. The guy's, you know, an icon in the game by any stretch, but it's always a pleasure to be able to see them, you know, kind of be able to see those trades and see the exchanges and see how they play strategically. Like, you see these trades and you go, holy crap. Some of these ones are really dirty. But you see the damage that comes out, and I just wonder how it's just so consistent. And they're able to fill so quickly, and they're so dedicated to filling. FiB is just an annoying alliance to fight, man. Like, in a good way. In a good way. You know what I mean? In a good way, they're an annoying alliance to fight. But either way, you're going to see some trades here from them. They got a couple of towers over here to have to kind of reinforce all in the same area. But now Z's awake, and once Z gets awake, you see some of those trades go a little bit better for them. Now I make a big mistake here that could have cost us. And it was placing this tower. I shouldn't have placed it where I did. I should have placed it one spot away. But right here, see this? This entire time, he could have attacked the tower and destroyed the tower before we had anybody in there. It was entirely my mistake. I should have placed it differently, and I should have moved my troops. I should have either moved my troops there before building it, or moved and not built touching. That was my mistake. So I have to eat that one. That's a personal thing. So if you're gonna call me out for it, call me out for it. I admit I did it. It was my mistake. But you know what? We got it. We're good. We got in the Garrison. We got in defense, so it wasn't so bad.
What more can I say? Green's the color of money, then put that broccoli in my plate. I've been working really hard and giving y'all niggas a reason to hate. Got a meeting with success, don't waste my time, I can't be late. Well, hip hop swap, nigga, terminating haters. Started in the bleachers, now we ballin' like the Lakers. Back up on the scene, ripping for my team. Ripping off the industry, I'm on that Wolverine. Put me on vinyl records, cause we dropping, crushing and ripping it. Terminating haters. Started in the bleachers, now we ballin' like the Lakers. Back up on the scene, ripping for my team. Ripping off the industry, I'm on that Wolverine. Put me on vinyl records. Can I say? Green's the color of money, then put that broccoli in my plate. I've been working really hard and giving y'all niggas a reason to hate. Got a meeting with success, don't waste my time, I can't be late. Well, hip hop swap, nigga, terminating haters. Started in the bleachers, now we ballin' like the Lakers. Back up on the scene, ripping for my team. Ripping off the industry, I'm on that Wolverine. Put me on vinyl records, cause we dropping, crushing and ripping it.
oceans ever torn so deep, falling down through the clouds, I'm feeling you. Stay away from.
That's probably one of the most annoying things I think about this entire building process when it comes to towers and stuff like that, trying to be able to click on them when so many troops on the field. It's annoying. I mean, I get it. You know, you can like swarm and overload it and make it difficult for your opponents and things like that. But like, why do you do it to your own? You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense why it would do that to you. So you have to like finagle a way to be able to click on it. So I think there's some optimization that needs to happen there. But that's just me, you know what I mean? I can see why they have it, right? It's strategic, and there's ways to overload the field and stuff like that. But you can get by that by optimization and yada yada. So I think it's just something that they need to like optimize out, where you can just click on the tower anyways, regardless of the troops that are there. Oh, and this is where they started to move. Now Greaves is on our side. But like, look at this. This is crazy. He's taking 2 rallies, and he's like, ugh, it's just sick. He's still being able to defend against both of them. Stella Riven is just insane. And his beasts are good too. It's crazy. And they're really good at refilling. I mean, that, like I said, FiB is just an annoying team to fight. An annoying team to fight against. So it's, you know, it's one of those things. But now we got them other guys moving over to our side. Yeah, now we got Specky over there, ABZ over there. Greaves moved over, and now we're in a big fight. Oh boy.
Stay away from me. Stay away from me. You keep haunting me. I feel that I've been chasing dreams. Keep holding on to memories. Tears that I will not regret. Sacrifice will prove instead. I feel that I've been chasing dreams. Keep holding on to memories. Tears that I will not regret. Sacrifice will prove instead.
Just a couple big shout outs here. I want to mention, first and foremost, a big thanks first to all of our alliances and alliance mates that we end up making in this IR. Like I mentioned, INF Inferno out of 228, HORS Trojan Horse out of 472, and then RVLT Revolution out of 125. If it wasn't for the 3 of you guys, you know, the 3 alliances all working together here and allowing us in there, there would have been no way for us to be able to fight. I mean, even as you see in these field fights, we're kind of outmatched. So it was always it was really good to be able to have them on the field. And as you'll see in the second part here, when we get into day 2, they really ended up holding it down for us. So I really want to give a huge shout out to them. But I also want to give a huge shout out to the player by the name the player who shall be known as Otto. Again, for the donation to the stream. This account that I'm playing on now is a much bigger account than I was on before, which allows me to do so much more. Now I'm fighting 5 strong in the field with enough troops to be able to kind of support it. So you'll start to see a lot more action, and I'm hoping that it plays out in the long run. So I do want to give a huge shout out to the player formerly known as Otto for all that he's done. And again, I really hope that I'm able to do you proud. If you do end up seeing this, comment down below. because like I said, I do owe you a bunch, man. This has been a fantastic process. I'm really glad you reached out to me, and I hope that I do you proud. You know, that's all I can suggest. I hope I do you proud, and I hope that you enjoy watching the content moving forward. And good luck in your future endeavors, man. Good luck with the family, with the kids, and everything else. I hope you enjoy.
The closer you got to me, the faster I try to leave. Like a mirage, like a mirage. The stars that you don't keep on my arms, I appear empty. Like a mirage, like a mirage.
I feel really happy here. We ended up defending against an incursion from FiB. So I felt really excited that we were able to do that. It really put a, kind of a feather in our cap to show how kind of scrappy we are. However, now we have Z to contend with. He started moving off of the front line. As you can see, they all moved off the front line to come back to us. Now, I think this is because we had an agreement in place, but the translator is so bad, and unfortunately there were so many different languages in the other alliance chat that I have no idea exactly what the agreement was. Whether it was for them to keep their 7 or keep the 6, pardon me, or whatever. In exchange, that might have been the case. I'm not really sure. But even here, as you can see, like, we don't really even have a chance. They send the rally out. We're at, a half HP very, very quickly, and his Stella Marco is still hitting strong. So there's really not much we can do to defend. And I find this very, very, very funny. As soon as that happens, we basically say, okay, we're gonna back out. Because as soon as the main FiB force shows up, there's not much that we can do to defend. And I'm just hoping that they don't, decide to push into us at that point. So I retreat back to the helipad, build up the oil, because obviously tier 6 needs a heck of a lot of oil, and head off for the night. And that's gonna do it for day 1 for the fights that we had that evening. But it was really nice for us to just kind of be a thorn in the side of FiB even for a little bit. Until we wake up in the next morning, we got a couple of hours left in it. We thought everything was secured, and then ReFa started building into us, so we had to get defensive. We start layering towers down. We start layering it in multiple, layering towers in multiple, avenues, so that they have to go through, multiple layers in order to get through to our 6. But they started building directly into our 6, and so we had to fight them directly. Now, we're a little bit late in the recording here because we were already focusing on a fight on the front lines, and they started coming around to our backside. But in the process, we ended up responding and holding off. And this is where we start to really see INF and HORS really shine, because they ended up sending field fighters to our side of the map pretty much the entire last 2 hours of the game in order to help us secure our 4th place position. So it was really, really great to be able to see that. There's a lot of rallies in this one. So I hope you guys enjoy. Lots of going back and forth on the map, finding out exactly where we are, what we're up against. Man, Deadeye Billy, I got to give you credit, man. One of your Garrisons is probably one of the better ones that we've been up against. We weren't able to crack it no matter how much we sent. So, huge pat on the back to you guys at ReFa. And again, I hope you guys enjoy. Jam out, kick back on that joint or that bong or that bourbon, and enjoy these fights. There's a couple of times our rallies end up taking over, and I think that's a lot has to do with Chad. Chad of the Shire is a brand new addition to our team. He actually just joined us for this island raid just previous to this, so it was really good to be able to kind of lean back on him and have him run a lot of the things, and he was excited to be able to fill that role as well. So huge shout out to Chad of the Shire for sacrificing and putting your troops out there to be able to help us the way that you did. Those rallies, even though we might not have won them, were kind of quintessential in holding them back and kind of preventing them from pushing so heavily into us. So awesome job. Well done. And we're glad to have you. So welcome to the team, and we hope you stick around for a long time. I hope you have fun. And, if you do end up watching this, here's your shout out, my dude.
I'm losing you. I'm losing you. Oh, but these thoughts won't let you go. They keep running back to you. Whoa.
Ghosts. Chasing. Ghosts. Chasing. Ghosts.
I took this as a chance to put as many troops out into as many garrisons as possible because we have so many towers that right there. I layered out, you know, 2 or 3 towers on top of each other so that regardless of if they took out one, they'd have to take out 2 or 3 more. And that was really our whole goal. We had 300,000 cement, and, you know, at that point is to put as many towers between us and them as possible to be able to make sure that they can't take our 6 or at least build to us. Now, I will say I'm a little annoyed on one thing. I'm a little annoyed because it seems like FiB did not push into us when they could have, because there is no way we would have been able to contend against both ReFa and FiB pushing into us for our 6. And had they cut us off from our 6, that would have prevented us from getting 4th and gave FiB 4th. So I'm a little bit more, I guess you could say not annoyed, more kind of curious as to why they didn't. Maybe it was in their agreement or what have you. And if it was in the agreement, then an even bigger shout out to Inferno and Trojan Horse and Revolution for negotiating our 4th place. But it was a situation where you can see me even here looking back at FiB to see if they're going to come build into us, because they never did. So it made it really fair for us to fight ReFa kind of one-on-one. With the help, obviously, of Inferno and Trojan Horse there in the field. But, again, one of those things where, you know, as much as we're sending rallies into ReFa, we know we can't win. A lot of those rallies are basically there just to kind of impede there, to make sure that they're focusing on Garrison and refilling those troops as much as possible, even though it's costing us troops as well, right? Even though it's costing us troops, it's to slow them down, because we really only have a couple of hours left. If we can hold out those couple of hours, right, they can't build through us, then we're going to hold it off. We're only, you know, 2 hours until reset, 2 hours and 6 minutes. So if we can hold out, you know, an hour and a half, then they won't be able to have the time to get to our 6.
Back to nothing, 'cause I'm just starting to learn. I've always been chasing.
This rally hurt a lot. It was a lot of refilling on that one to make sure it didn't fall. Come on, more troops. Thank you. Yeah, there was a lot of refilling to make sure that that tower didn't fall, but the damage coming out is pretty crazy, so thank goodness for Ethan Lewis. This is right became that moment where I noticed that these 2 towers that I had troops in didn't need towers in them because they couldn't touch them yet. Durr. But they started building out sideways, so we had Respawn build out sideways to kind of keep them contained. I forgot I was in a rally, so I couldn't relocate. But we had to respond because, of course, they don't want to build around us, because if they build around us, then they can get to our 6 quicker. So let's build a tower in their way, right? And if you'll notice when I'm placing towers, guys, one of the things that I always keep in mind, how are you going to defend that tower, right? Where the placement of that tower, you want it to be where the most of you, like, you want it to be in a position where you can put a lot of, like, your towers around it. In your space if you have to. But, like, you want it to be in a place where it's a longer march for them to get to you, shorter march for you guys to fill from your territory, right? So it's like you want to keep those kind of things in mind. So when I'm placing towers, I'm trying to keep in mind where you're going to defend them from, giving the opponent as much time to get to it as possible and giving you the shortest time to it as possible so that refilling is easy and for them, refilling is harder, right? Keep that in mind. And here they start building out both sides to give them options because I feel their other opinion here was to build directly into cutting us off. So they could build out one side or the other, build to our 6 to cut us off, or now build north to cut us off. So our response has to be to build a tower to there, which we do eventually, for some reason, not to anytime soon. So, as you can see, we're refilling those towers. I'm sending as many troops as I can, because although we're losing in trades, the damage is pretty nice. And then, of course, HORS and, or HORS and INF comes in to help. And thank goodness for their swarming capabilities to be able to help us with those rallies on the field. Super, super helpful. Big shout out. I cannot be thankful enough for these guys. They've pretty much carried us the whole way, so thanks a lot for putting us in your backpack.
When I see you dancing, I'm like, hola, 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 hola. With your move fancy, make me wanna hola, 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 hola. I got your attention, spending that moolah, 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 moolah. I'm a drop popping, pocket, swola, 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 swola. Swola, 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 swola. Swola, swola, swola. When I see you dancing, I'm like, hola, 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 hola. See you move fancy, make me wanna hola, 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 hola. I got your attention, spending that moolah, 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 moolah. I'm a drop popping, pocket, swola, 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 swola. I got your attention, spending that moolah, 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 moolah. I'm a drop popping, pocket, swola, 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 swola. Swola, swola, swola. Swola, 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 swola. Swola, 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 swola.
So see, we start to build the tower here in defense. I was watching the construction time on that left-facing tower, the one that's heading west, and I noticed that they weren't really fast building it, so I wasn't too concerned about getting a tower out there quick enough. But then they started building one right up our butts, so we had to be able to respond to that one that they ended up building. Trying to respond to that is a difficult one, because of course ReFa's nothing to shake your stick at, man. They are a tough cookie. I mean, you know, their trades were better than us, you know, kind of consistently. Had they had more time and they'd come at us earlier, I think they would have been able to do it no problem. It just took us time. But if you just look at the trades, I mean, you see the trades themselves, we're having to refill much more than they are. So they'd be able to outweigh us. But we're a scrappy bunch, and that's what I give GrOP a lot of, that's what I give the GrOp a lot of credit for. We're a scrappy bunch, right? Like, we might not have the whales on us. We've got a couple of big hitters. But we are definitely probably one of the more active ones. That's our biggest thing. That's what I work on a lot, is to make sure that our guys are pushing towards, you know, being as active as possible. One of the ways that we measure that, obviously, is a ratio, to make sure that all of our players are achieving points in events. Because you know, that kind of really shows us that you're active and willing to fight and willing to, you know, sacrifice troops. And it seems to be working well. I mean, we've built up a pretty scrappy bunch that, you know, like to bang and brawl and, you know, kind of have this nice mentality of still being at home, which is kind of what we like to do. So it's a nice little mix, but, you know, it all follows the same thing. Being active, pushing hard, you know, following labels, reading mails, all this type of stuff. This is the things that we focus on. But here, even when they place that tower in such a way that it's very close to them so that they can refill it very easily and we have to march to it. So good job for them in placement. And as you can see, once it actually lands, they start to attack more and start to harass us more. But the time is getting close. We're only an hour and a half until reset. So we're getting real close on hopefully securing this 4th place for us. Because it's our first appearance in Elite, so if we can end up getting a 4th place in Elite, goodness gracious, that's a good feather in our hat. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm annoyed to see Ethan everywhere. Like here, even Rigoro Ethan. It just makes me, like, it's something I brought up in a conversation I had with Panda recently. How the new characters, when they come out, they just become the meta and get used everywhere. And I find it so funny. So, like, even here on an infantry line, you have Ethan running infantry because of his damage. I assume it's because of his damage. That seems to be what's hitting us the most, right? His AoE and stuff. So it's really kind of interesting to see how the new heroes become the meta. That makes me really curious to see if Rubina is going to be played in Garrison too, even though most of her skills are, you know, when not in Garrison. So we'll see what happens. It's interesting to see the balance in the game, that's for sure. See, as soon as they get that tower down, they start sending out little squads to have to see it and everything else. So I have to send all my troops out to different towers, to Garrison, pretty much to Garrison every single tower around there that they can attack. Because as it stands now, they've got an hour and a half, but they've got about 4 or 5 towers that they would have to burn through in order to get to our 6. So it's going to be up to the clock already. And right here, so they send us a bunch of troops around. Their entire goal just to burn the tower. And unfortunately, I didn't even notice that it wasn't being held. And they ended up burning one for free, and it really kind of irked me, just because they had no reason to be there, no reason to burn it, but they did anyways. I guess they had a reason to burn it. That's the purpose, right? To burn the towers and take the territory. Durr. Sometimes I wonder exactly why I do commentary. I did find this interesting, though. Chad accidentally sent Chasey with Bella. And he sent the Chasey Bella up against the Raigaro Ethan. And it ended up getting much better trades, which I thought was kind of interesting. And I looked into it, and I assume it's because Bella does additional damage against targets with a shield. So, like, I'm not sure if that's what caused the better trades or what have you. But, like, the trades ended up going a lot better just by switching up heroes a lot, which means to show me that there is some kind of balance in the game. It's just that it's just insane when they release new heroes, because the new heroes with super weapons are just super strong by themselves, and so they kind of rebalance everything else. But to be able to see, Chasey Bella perform better than Chasey Felix, I think it was kind of interesting. I'm even mentioning it here. Which I guess I forgot to edit out. I try to edit out all the chat because a lot of that stuff is just, it's just fluff. There's no sense to be kind of involved in that kind of stuff, but I do miss some, so it is what it is. I hope you guys get, I hope you enjoy the little bit of clips from inside the chat box. But we're getting close to the end here. We only got an hour and 20 minutes left. An hour and 20 minutes for them to be able to get the rest of their stuff, be able to push all the way through us. It's getting really close. And we're all sitting here with puckered buttholes because, like I said, I know these guys can push through us if they wanted to. Like if they really wanted to, I know that they could. And if it wasn't for Inferno and Trojan Horse being in the field to prevent them from refilling and things like that, I don't think we would have been able to have what we did. And maybe that's just my own insecurity. Maybe I'm entirely wrong and matchmaking is totally right and what they've done is totally fine. But I'll tell you, it's definitely felt like an uphill battle, right? It feels like an uphill battle, and that's really what I think what really matters. Like their rallies are hitting so much harder than ours, and their garrisons are defending so much better than ours, man. It just feels like an uphill battle. So maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm just complaining out to the universe for no reason, but I definitely feel that IGG needs to work on its matchmaking. Make it more balanced, more even, get better fights. Pair the top against the top, the medium against the medium, right? Even in this Archipelago raid coming up, we registered at 650th, and we got placed in the absolute top bracket of Fearless. So, which I think is interesting. It's just the matchmaking is just so confusing. But it is what it is. You'll see the bracket breakdown on that one. I'll do that video next. So you'll be able to see the bracket breakdown of G25, which is the one that I'm in. And I'll give you my opinions as we go through it there. But that being said, I hope you guys are enjoying just as much as me. We're getting close to the end here, folks. Just a couple more rallies left, a couple more defenses left. But like I said, we don't even stop sending. I mean, even though we're losing these trades, we keep sending the entire time. So I give Chad a whole bunch of credit. The consistent push, the consistent rally is something that I think, you know, even knowing that we had the potential to lose is crazy. And here I'll give you another proof, right? We had Rice from ROK was with us, from previously from ROK anyways. And even if you look at these rallies, like, I mean, they're on par with what he has, but that's the absolute top of us, and we're still getting beat in those rally exchanges, right? It's crazy to me. It's just crazy to me. But we couldn't have done it without Rice. He put up 500 million points. Like, the guy fought absolutely brazenly just out there. And tons and tons of credit to him as well. But like, it's one of those things where it's like, if we didn't have these one individual players, everything would be very, very, very different, I feel. And again, if FiB had pushed us two at the same time, we would have been screwed. But Mephistopheles here from INF, is that Tan88, I think, from INF. Big shout outs to these guys for helping us with the field pressure and being able to maintain for this last hour and a half. Ended up being 2.5 hours previous. Now we're down to 1 hour and 13 minutes. But I think they're starting to realize at this point that they won't be able to take it from us. I'm not sure, because like I said, there's they still end up sending a heck of a lot of rally stuff our way, you know? Look at all those troops in the aid station. Jesus. My man knows how to fight. I was just counting how many I lost. I hate looking at the aid station and realizing how many troops I've just lost. But it is what it is, right? That's what we do it for. Troops are meant to be lost. Get out there and fight with them.
I'm craving hope in this darkness. You say I'm just a joke, just a joke. Shivers my spine so bad. Swimming in the river stakes too much. I'm trying to let go of us, but the truth is what's real and you want us. My darling, in fire, my darling.
Thank goodness that guy moved. Now I can see the rallies better. Sometimes it's better not to move at all because you're in the way of being able to see and repair and replace and stuff. So sometimes being there is just strategic.
You liar. Shivers my spine so cold, so swimming in the rivers, swimming in the rivers. I'm trying to let go of us, but the what's real and you want
Don't walk away from me. 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 Don't walk away. 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 Don't walk away. Don't walk away. Don't walk away. Don't walk away from me. Don't walk away. Don't walk away from me. Here we go. Don't walk away from me. 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 Don't walk away, don't walk away, don't walk away from me. Don't walk away, don't walk away, don't walk away from me. Don't walk away, don't walk away, don't walk away from me.
As we start to get into this last couple of minutes, we notice that we're only an hour away. We are 54 minutes away from securing, and pretty much at this point, I think it's pretty apparent that they can't do anything. They are being held. They don't have the time. Had they come earlier and they had more time, it would be different, but they are being limited by the clock at this point. And so it feels to me, as we wrap this up, guys, we're just going to let the clock run out, let the time run out, and let GrOp succeed finally. I don't want to say finally. We've been succeeding pretty well recently. Like I said, we've developed a good group of players. So it's been a nice thing to see. But all of the fighting was worth it. We ended up holding out our 4th place. And even with all the rallies that they sent and all the ones that we sent and we continued to send, it was a stalemate for that. And I think had it gone any longer, they would have eventually overthrow us. But the time was what really kind of held us back. So we're going to let the clock run out here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and click the follow button. Like, comment, and subscribe. Sorry, not follow. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you can, become a member. It's only $6.99 a month, and I know it seems like it's asking a lot, but that's Canadian. American, it's like $4.99. And I know it seems like I'm asking a lot, but the truth is IGG doesn't pay anything to its creators. They don't really care about us at all. And unfortunately, YouTube doesn't pay us very much because until you get bigger, at which point it's not going to matter as much. But right now, in order to help support the stream, in order to help support the growth that we want to see on the channel, I'm going to ask everybody, please go ahead and hit that membership button and help support the membership stream. We've got a couple. We're building a community already. I am going to start putting out some membership-only videos. Some of the full contact conversations or the full content conversations I've had with Panda for surviving the apocalypse. And other things like that. So you'll get to see some other additional content. But like I said, guys, it really does go to help support the cause, support the stream, and support the community. So if you can, go ahead, click that membership button and become a member today. Other than that, folks, I hope you enjoy. Love, peace, chicken grease, and until next time, stay lifted.
I just wanna have some fun. I don't wanna fall in